It is the RIOT podcast, and here's what's happening. The fundraiser, you're getting this now. The fundraiser's over.
This is our final hours, so we're actually including some of our fundraisers in this final podcast for that, just so you can kind of hear what it's like during where we've been these 2 weeks.
Yeah, it's been very intense. I feel like I am currently living on another planet. I am only now beginning to reestablish contact with Earth.
And you know what's sad is this weekend and next, sometimes we'll feel like jet lag and stuff because you're getting back to what was our normal schedule. But we've got to do it. And we just want to thank you so much for all the RIOT podcast listeners who got in during this fundraiser. You amaze us each and every fundraiser. You really come out and support to make sure this stays funded.
So things you're going to hear in the podcast today, me biting my nails, variety of tire pumps. Who cares about that?
Well, wait till you hear. Maybe something else was interesting in it.
Speedway and the great 7-Eleven conversion and Texas swamp rats.
Yeah, I remember hearing that coming in.
I actually heard that coming in, and I was like,
there was something. So enjoy the podcast. It does feature some of the fundraiser stuff. So if you still want to give, there is still a need. If you go to RadioU.com and support that way. So if you hear any challenges in this, that stuff was just during this morning while we were doing that. But please listen to the need, though, still to keep RadioU going. We are not in on Monday, but we'll be back Tuesday with our normal scheduled extra long podcast.
Well, all the stuff you've come to know and love.
It'll be back on Tuesday. You guys have a wonderful weekend.
It is the RIOT.
Wow. Not only are you already awake, but you're listening to the RIOT? Your day is off to a pretty rough start. The RIOT on RadioU.
Nikki, you want to talk to Sarah?
Yeah, we'd love to talk to her.
Hi, Sarah.
Good morning.
Hello.
How are you doing today?
I'm good. How are you?
We're doing wonderful. Thank you for getting in and supporting on our fundraiser.
Absolutely. Thanks for entertaining me on my way to work every day.
Aww.
Well, you know how it is.
We try our best.
You know. So, Sarah, you joined the RIOT Club. Why on this earth would you send money to a radio station?
Oh, I've listened to you guys for years, and it really makes my day start off well, so thought I should probably give back.
Aww. Thank you for making it possible for others to enjoy, too.
Absolutely.
All right. Well, you have a great day at work because everybody loves going to work.
Yeah. Woo!
All right. Take care, Sarah.
Have a good morning. Bye-bye. Sarah's $300 became $900 with supporting on these triple challenges and on this final morning for the RadioU Fall Fundraiser. Everybody's got to get in.
All right. It's the last 4.5 hours of our fall fundraiser. T-shirts are on sale. $100 one time or $15 a month. That's less than we've been saying for the entire fundraiser so far. But you're coming in on the last morning, and boy, we really need you. Now, I want to say thanks to Michael in Columbus, Ohio, and Nathan in Pennsylvania. Their triple challenge is over.
Yay!
They had put up $1,200 to be tripled. It's been tripled. Thanks to Alex in Fort Wayne, Indiana. Alex says, the best thing I brought with me from Ohio is the RadioU app. I couldn't get through my day without the RIOT and Nikki and Obadiah.
We're so glad.
That's very cool. Thank you. Your $20 just became $60 to RadioU. Amy finished off the challenge.
Good morning,
She
Amy.
gave her $100. That became $300. She's got the fundraiser tee because she gave $100, and that's on sale right now. She says, thank you, guys. You've been making my mornings for many years. That $100 became $300 now.
Oh, thank you.
We'll thank Sarah again here in just a second because she's the first one who's kicked off another triple matching challenge. We have a generous listener in Ohio. This is someone who has supported RadioU. In fact, their whole family's kind of been behind RadioU, supporting us for a long time. And he is putting up a really generous matching challenge.
All right.
For us to work through for however many minutes it takes.
Come on.
He's going to give a total of $20,000 for this RadioU Fall Fundraiser. And what he's going to do is he's going to cut that $20,000. It's just mind-blowing. He's going to take that $20,000 and cut it in half, so it's $10,000 that will get matched, and then $10,000 that you'll get matched again.
Come on.
So if we can raise up to $10,000 from all of you RadioU listeners, He's going to give $10,000, then he's going to give $10,000 again.
Yeah, come on.
It's actually then a total of $30,000 in our totals because you're calling in and getting your best gift in now.
That's how we
This
finish
is an amazing.
this.
He doesn't. This is what I found. The more money someone gives, the less likely they are to want credit.
Oh, they just want to do it.
He doesn't even want his name announced, and I'm okay with that. But he's just really being super generous for Radio U in Ohio this morning.
You thought they were bad live? Well, just wait until you hear this. The Worst of the Riot podcast with Obadiah and Nikki.
I bite my nails. I do.
Are you wanting to stop, or
No,
you just don't care right now?
I don't care. I'm careful to make sure that I throw the nail pieces away.
Ew, wait, like that? Oh.
Where do you? Can I ask you a question? What do you want me to do with them?
I don't
Just
know.
spit them on the floor?
Well, I didn't know this is what you were doing, like, right now.
Yeah.
You
I
want
was-
the trash can?
Well, I'm putting them in this cup, which will then go in the trash can.
That's something.
What?
That's something you want a tissue?
Well, can I ask you? Okay, explain to me why.
What if you drank out of the cup, and what if you
I'm
didn't
not
know?
going to drink out of this
what
cup.
if someone
Look
else
at, okay,
walks in? I don't want to look
how
at
small.
it. I'm not looking
You
at it.
can't see them.
I don't care. I don't want to look at it.
It's so small. I would never drink out of a cup that size. I have standards.
I'm not talking about you, but I'm talking about someone comes in, it tidies up. Let's say Sydney
And
comes
what?
in later.
Sydney is suddenly like, I'm going to pour some Windex in here and have a sip?
Maybe she thinks, oh, we didn't use the cup. It doesn't look used. She doesn't look enough at it.
It has been used.
Puts
There
it
are
back
crumbs.
in there.
There's crumbs at the bottom from the pretzels I ate earlier, which, by the way, I also had pretzels for breakfast.
You did.
So that's where I'm at right now. Pretzels for breakfast. I'm
Biting our
biting my
nails.
nails.
Aw, you can put a rubber band on your wrist. That always does the trick.
Why?
Then you flick the rubber band, inflict pain every time you want to bite your nails, and then you'll stop biting your nails.
I don't feel like anybody gives me a truly good reason to not
Bite your nails?
bite my nails.
Well, I think it can cause infection.
What kind?
If
What am I getting
you-
disease from under my nails?
Well, no, you can because you're biting it. You don't know what else is going on.
Yeah, but the thing is, Nikki, like with me biting my nails, aren't I? I'm getting stronger.
You're not. You're taking away the protection for your finger
Oh
by
gosh,
taking away the nail.
Oh, the satisfaction of ripping off a nail. It's
so
just
bad.
I feel better already.
Now it's made your day?
Yeah.
Why bite your nails? Or
Why stop?
should we not bite our nails? Why should we hire
It's
you?
going to give you something. Boy, please don't Google that. I
Well,
don't
I was
want
just going
you
through
guys.
the list.
There's probably not a good reason to hire me at this point.
Nail biting could cause your teeth to break or could damage
Okay,
your
all
tooth
right.
enamel.
Okay.
The germs could also potentially infect or cause irritation to your gums. The bacteria that's on your fingers or nails can linger in your mouth and cause other issues.
Angela says, I think it causes tooth decay. Well, I mean, I'm still brushing my teeth.
You know, I was
though.
thinking of the finger, but you're right. You have to be
What about the
watchful
teeth?
of your teeth. That's actually where the problem really goes.
Gosh, I don't know. Like, what if I told you it's kind of worth the risk?
You don't care. Don't tell me what to do. Is that what we're at?
Dane says, do you clean under your nails? You could get sick or worse parasites. Katie says, I bite my nails. Nail biters forever. Yep. See?
I was just more grossed out that we're collecting them over there.
I'm not collecting them because I'm going to keep them. I'm collecting them to put them in the trash
And
so
you
they
bite your
don't.
nails like at night, like it's a part of your beauty routine at night. You know, you wash your face, brush your teeth, bite your nails.
Nikki, I'm only nervous in here. It's a very nerve-wracking place.
That's not why you're biting your nails. You're not nervous. Are you anxious?
So anxious.
So
What if I
anxious.
mess up?
No one cares.
What if I mess up?
No one cares.
So I got to make sure, like the pressure, Nikki.
The pressure for a good show is driving you to
pressure
bite your
is
nails.
pushing me to nail biting.
I just didn't know that was going on over there. So
Oh, see, I thought it was plain that
No,
I'm
I
over
never
here just
noticed.
like.
didn't notice that it was in such a way that we're collecting them in the cup next to you.
You know what? You make it sound
Gross.
bad.
Gross.
You make it sound bad. It's not bad. It's very human.
You're listening to The Riot. Let's all work together today to live life with the patience of a Nikki dealing with an Obadiah.
Gotta hang in there and get through it.
You're listening to The Riot
I think it's great that we have variety. Like when we go to buy something, you can choose from things. But I feel like I've just wandered down the toothpaste aisle again where, when's the last time you went into a store and bought toothpaste? There are 100 million options. So I went to Amazon to buy a bike pump.
Yeah. Are there that many options?
Oh my gosh.
A lot are probably just around the same thing too. It's just different sellers.
They got different colors.
Well, you got options.
They got stuff, Nikki. So much stuff.
You gonna find one? Or?
Well, yeah, I want to get one, but it's a lot of pressure now.
What was the one site when you're supposed to check the reviews? Do you remember?
Choose Fake Spot.
Yeah, you're supposed to see, because sometimes with things that are around that level price-wise, probably you can get a lot of the fake reviews.
So, here's one that it looks pretty good, and look at that, it's got a gauge on it, so that way I'll be able to tell.
Yeah.
What the level is.
Can't you just use, so instead of bike pump, can't you just use your air tire filler thing?
Yeah, that thing that I bought 3 of and it breaks every time.
Oh, I see.
That's why I'm here now. And I actually thought I'll buy another air station. And I was like, no, we won't.
We're not doing that again.
We're not
Yours really breaks that often?
No. Yeah. And you're like, because you're using it so much? No, it just doesn't work.
Well, we needed to check the reviews on that more than this bike pump.
Yeah, it's crazy. So, Nikki, Fake Spot, that's weird now. Now they're download the Chrome extension.
No, thank you.
Yeah, can't you just search it on the website? And now they want to sell,
They got too big. It's fine. Never mind.
It's a whole thing now. They had something great.
It was more organic, and now it's ruined.
So, okay, here, finally, 2 clicks in, I found what I'm looking for. Oh, Fake Spot review grade. This gets a C.
Not too good.
So
it's fine, though. Just find something that's the best that you can.
Hey, how much do you want to spend on a bike pump? Because, dude, we can go
$20, $30. Nikki,
what is that? What the poor people buy?
Is there an Amazon Basics bike pump?
There should be.
If not, what can we do that's close enough to that?
Wouldn't you like to have the Ergon X1000?
Not really.
Only $45. Wow, it's so nice.
So Andy said, if you're looking for a good cheap tire pump, we bought a RIOT handheld compressor, $7, and it works if you have RIOT batteries as well.
I don't have any RIOT batteries, but that sounds interesting.
So look into that.
Compressor.
$7, that'll work.
Let's get to work on that.
It was bad enough the first time around, but now it's worse. Don't believe us? Just keep listening. You'll find out soon enough. This is the worst of the Riot podcast.
Thank you, Brandon, in New Albany, Ohio.
Good morning, Brandon.
$100 for the fall fundraiser T-shirt that's on sale right now for $100. That just came in. That became $300 in our totals. Thank you. Here's Nicole with $40 for Radio U from Lewis Center, Ohio. That $40 just became $120 for Radio U. She says, I don't want to live in a world without Radio U.
Oh, Nicole, thanks
you. Thanks for playing awesome music, sharing God's love, and bringing me joy every day. You're awesome. You're amazing. You rock. Thank you for that great donation. And then $35 came in from Lisa in Montana.
Hi,
Lisa, thank you so much for donating. We really appreciate it. She says, Obi and Nikki have changed my life in so many ways. And really, I wouldn't be here today if it weren't for them. A few years ago, I was suicidal and I didn't have anyone to turn to. As crazy as it might sound, the podcast is part of what helped me pull myself out of my depression. It gave me something to look forward to and gave things some perspective in my life. I'll never be able to explain how grateful I am for you guys. Thank you from the bottom of my heart. Lisa, thank you for sharing that story. We love you so much, and we are so glad that this is why Radio U's here. This is why we come in and we do this every day, because we are a part of everyone's lives, and we are glad that it has been a help for you.
So that's why we do it, and that's why the guy in Ohio is willing to write a check for $20,000.
Thank you, Lisa. You're so just thank you for sharing your story with us.
So 877-2-RADIO-U. Continue to help us make this possible and available to people like Lisa. You can also go to RadioU.com, click on donate.
The Riot Radio U.
So last week we found out that 7-Eleven is buying Speedway. Now, depending on where you live, maybe you know what a Speedway gas station is, maybe you don't. They're a huge chain. Mm-hmm. Some states have them, some states don't.
And I didn't catch, would they be changing Speedways into 7-Elevens, or or are they just keeping it as is?
Well, Nikki, that's why I'm here.
Oh, what do they got?
So there are 4,000 speedways, and they will, by basically the beginning of next year, like kind of first quarter, so like by March, April next year, they will all
turn
be
into
7-Elevens.
Wow, so we'll finally have a 7-Eleven near us. Because we have a Speedway down the road, but
Speedway down there.
7-Eleven is a little too far away.
I'm trying to think. Like, Speedway is not anywhere like that's on the way for me, really. Mm-hmm. But, you know, it's around. And so every time, if Speedway does any cool, like, Slurpee promotions.
Well, yeah, sometimes 7-Eleven will do things, and we're too lazy to drive.
So lazy.
Extra time over.
Just too much.
The closest one to us.
So this is
I wondered if they would do that.
Yeah, me too. Well, I thought like they'll probably buy it and then nothing changes.
Is Speedway a certain coast thing or certain side, or is it everywhere?
I don't know. I think it's one of those things where like some states yes, some states no. Like that's the way. I don't know. Is there a truly nationwide gas chain?
There might be, but a lot of times this is what happens. They'll buy each other, and then sometimes they'll stick with one part of the coast gets one name and another part gets another name.
Well, according to this, Speedway bought out Hess gas stations about 5 years ago. Mm-hmm. Once they did that, they became the country's top gas station and convenience store. And their soda's not that good. I'm just going to tell you. Like they're
at Speedways?
I never find a mix there where they're always like skimping back on the.
The Speedway located near us, I feel like they haven't put their best Speedway foot forward. Yeah,
into anything.
It's not like lit nicely in there. It's not organized efficiently. I feel like it's a bit of a rough one.
I'll just tell you.
So maybe 7-Eleven will organize it a bit better.
I have a tendency, like if I'm driving down the road and there's a Speedway and there's like a BP or anything else, I have a tendency to go to the other place.
Oh,
unless it's a Shell station. That's not even worth it.
Maybe this will be different.
Maybe it will.
So they're going to take over by next year, you said?
Yes, but there's one thing that is hitting a lot of people hard. That means the Speedy Freeze will be replaced by the Slurpee.
So Speedway has its own freeze thing?
They do, and they are not the same. Oh. And I've seen an entire internet, which is to say one small corner of it, and yet they are vocal.
They are vocal, explode about it.
Angry they are that the Speedy Freeze is being replaced.
Well, buy now and just start freezing away.
Maybe you could buy a machine.
You could buy a mix.
Yeah.
And then mix your own at your house.
You could make your own. Because, like, let me tell you what. You ever heard of a zombie food? That's where it's going, man.
Just grab what you can.
You got to hurry.
Just make sure you have toilet paper and you have your Speedy Freeze. Then you'll be fine.
Let me tell you what. Some people might be so desperate you could have quite a trade going.
To trade it out.
You might be thinking that this won't be quite as bad the second time around. Well, you'd be greatly mistaken. You're listening to the worst of the Riot podcast.
Holy crap. Nikki and I are looking at what's happening in Fort Worth, Texas right now.
Hey, here's something to add to the list.
They are battling what they call is a colony of swamp rats.
They're huge. It looks like it's even bigger. It looks like than a guinea pig or
It looks like a groundhog.
Looks like a groundhog about that size.
Except they're terrifying instead of being like a groundhog.
Do you see the teeth on them?
Yes.
Looks like fingernails.
Isn't it funny? Groundhogs are technically rodents too.
Yeah, but these are rats.
So they're out there shooting them?
Giant swamp rats. They've invaded in about the past year, so they're new, but not the newest.
Okay, get a load of this. In Louisiana, they pay hunters to kill swamp rats.
So it's like the snakes in Florida. They're destroying the ecosystem.
How much money do you think you could make doing that?
Per rat thing?
Yeah, I mean, I couldn't do the snakes, but I could shoot these rats all day.
You could do that, but then you have to bring them in, don't you?
Probably. You know what you do? You just get some gloves. And a mask. I'm wearing a mask anyway, so I don't have to smell it.
Basically, they say that these giant swamp rats come in and they eat 25% of their body weight like every day. And they
that's a lot when you think about it.
So it'll go through and it'll tear apart the food for all the other animals. And they say that the mommy giant swamp rat will have like 200 babies a year. So it's very hard to control the population for these things.
Okay. If I told you, Nikki, that like let's say you make $50 a day at RadioU. Yeah. I don't know what you make, whatever. But Nikki, you could make $100 a day shooting swamp rats. You could make $150 a day.
How do I have to kill them? I do have to shoot them
with a rifle.
With a rifle?
What are you you're gonna gather them up and smother them with a pillow?
Just let them sleep.
Just go to sleep.
If they fall asleep, they won't know. They'll just never wake up.
They just don't know, and it's fine. Like then you know what? They wake up in heaven.
They don't know.
And they're with all their swamp rat friends.
And it wasn't, my fault. I don't know.
I finally get to see my swamp rat mom again.
So they say they actually are very similar to beavers. And they eat pet food pellets. So, like, if you go out to the lake and you're feeding the ducks and stuff, they take over and they eat that food, too.
That's wonderful.
So people in the area were like, what is this thing?
Well, just keep feeding them.
It's not a beaver. It's not a groundhog. It's a giant swamp rat.
I had a groundhog in my yard last weekend, and I just knocked on the window, and he was like, "Wah!" And he was out.
It was out. He left.
That was it. Haven't seen him since.
They eat about 3 pounds a day.
That's crazy.
And it causes erosion. It takes decreased water quality. It can lead different toxins and stuff in the waters that can then come back to the humans that drink it.
Man, I think this is great. And I'm going to tell you why. Because, like, in Louisiana, they get paid to kill these swamp rats. Dude, how many times in a video game have you thought, you start out, you're killing rats, you're skinning stuff, and then you just take the money to the stuff to the trader, and they give you money? This is a chance to put those video game skills to real life work. You can finally do it.
You could.
Right? So, I mean, I don't know how much it actually pays, but it's a thought. That's all I'm saying.
Senators earlier this month called for, they want the government to pay states to be more proactive and attack this problem. And they want to get $12 million a year to pay people off to destroy these things.
All right.
The worst of the riot is over, but the fun can keep going.
Hey, I saw you checking out my goods.
Check the Riot blog or stalk us on social media.
You want to sample them? A little try before you buy, huh?
Through riot.radiou.com.
That horse pees everywhere. So can I.